Imagine walking barefoot along a beach at sunset. The sand is warm and soft, almost like walking on silk, each grain pressing gently into your feet. The waves lap at the shore, rising and falling in a rhythm that mirrors your own breathing. The sky burns gold and crimson, streaked with violet clouds. Everything feels balanced, serene, perfect. You take a deep breath of the salty air, and for a moment, your mind feels untethered, your body weightless. This is paradise, or so it seems. Now, behind a dune, hidden from your sight, imagine a child, malnourished, afraid, living in filth, their cries unheard. Their suffering is invisible, yet it underpins everything. The sun feels warmer, the waves more rhythmic, the sand softer, the breeze gentler, all made possible by their pain. You cannot see them, yet you know they are there. A kind of paradox of paradise. Omelas is the perfect city. Streets glisten in sunlight, laughter echoes in grand plazas, music drifts through the air, and festivals light the night with joy and colour. People are free, prosperous and content. There's no crime, no war, no suffering, except one. At the heart of Omelas' perfection is the single child imprisoned and abused. The city's beauty, prosperity and happiness exist only because this child suffers. Everyone eventually learns of this truth. The rule is unyielding. If the child is freed or comforted, the city collapses. Joy, music, freedom, prosperity. Everything vanishes like foam swept away by the waves. Now ask yourself, would you accept happiness built on someone else's suffering? Could you truly enjoy a perfect life knowing a child suffers so you can be happy? Omelas forces you to confront one of philosophy's most challenging questions. Is it morally acceptable to sacrifice the profound suffering of one innocent for the collective happiness of many? And now, bring this closer to home. Would you let an entire country suffer so your nation could thrive? Would you allow children to work in unsafe factories to ensure your wardrobe is perfect? As a CEO, would you give your employees low wages so that you could pocket higher profits? Every convenience you enjoy, every privilege you take for granted, often comes at the unseen cost of another human being. Omelas mirrors this ethical tension. Some citizens rationalise the bargain. One child suffers so that many may enjoy and live in joy. Others feel internal conflict, yet remain paralysed. And then there are a few, the ones who walk away, unable to accept paradise built on cruelty. Think of the film The Beach, if you've seen it. Leonardo DiCaprio's character discovers the hidden island. Paradise. Turquoise waters, untouched sand. A thriving self-contained community. Every morning is golden, every night serene. Freedom feels infinite. You feel the sun on your skin, the soft ocean breeze in your hair, the absolute perfection of life in one place. Then someone gets hurt. The man gets bitten by a shark. His agony pierces the illusion. He is crying in the main room and everyone's joy has gone. So the community solution is they hide him. They move him out of sight. They silence him and eventually abandon him. They get back to normal life and they enjoy it. Now that they can't see it, it's out of sight, out of mind. In the end, obviously, they end his life, but the paradise survives because the suffering was hidden, ignored, or denied. Now, place yourself there. Would you look away, preserving the paradise, or would you confront the suffering, knowing it might disrupt everything you love about your life. So let's return to Omelas. People react differently. Some accept the bargain, rationalising it away. Others are paralysed, torn between moral awareness and personal comfort. And then, as I said, the brave few, the ones who walk away. Because imagine a sandcastle. Each tower is joy, each moat a success, each shell a memory. Now imagine one grain of sand is a human being suffering, the anchor holding your castle upright. Do you keep building, ignoring the cost, or do you dismantle it, letting the waves reclaim the castle, acknowledging the price of beauty built on cruelty? Would you keep the castle intact if it meant someone else would always suffer? Would you tolerate invisible harm if it preserved your own comfort? Because Omelas reflects the reality of our world. Cheap products are often produced by exploited labour. Advanced technology sometimes comes at the expense of environmental destruction. Social media algorithms profit from psychological harm. These modern versions are relative to Omelas. Most people are like citizens of Omelas. They see suffering but rationalise it, turning away to preserve comfort. Wilful ignorance is psychologically convenient, but it comes at the cost of integrity. Every time you benefit from systemic inequality, every time you enjoy convenience without questioning its cost, you are complicit in a hidden harm. Yet Le Guin offers hope. Some refuse to accept this bargain. They walk away, they leave paradise behind, stepping into the unknown. They do not know what lies ahead, but they refuse to participate in injustice. Picture yourself walking along the beach, leaving behind golden sands, rolling waves, the warmth of the sun. Your steps sink into wet sand, the surf brushing against your ankles, uncertain yet purposeful. Walking away is an affirmation of moral integrity over convenience, courage over comfort. Omelas asks you to look inwards. How much suffering are you willing to ignore to maintain your life's comfort? When you scroll past injustice, choose convenience over compassion, or rationalise harm for your own gain, what does it say about you and your moral compass? Picture the horizon. The sun fades into the sea. The waves glow faintly into twilight. You walk away from golden sands and the perfect illusion. You do not know what's ahead, perhaps uncertainty, difficulty, risk, but you carry something more valuable than comfort: integrity. You have chosen truth over illusion, courage over ease. Because you need to ask yourself, would you accept paradise built on exploitation if it meant your life could be perfect? Could you look at a child making your shoes in a distant country and pretend it doesn't exist? Could you let others suffer for your own gain and still sleep at night? Or would you walk away embracing uncertainty but preserving your conscience? Because Omelas and the film The Beach are not just stories, they are mirrors. They force you to confront the hidden costs of happiness, the compromises woven into modern life, and the courage it takes to act ethically. Every day presents choices: comfort or conscience, illusion or integrity, ignorance or awareness. The grains of sand under your feet are like the decisions you make. Every act of ignorance, every moral compromise, every quiet acceptance of suffering is a grain in your sandcastle. Will you build on suffering, or will you dare to walk away into the waves of truth? Your choices define your Omelas. Your courage, your awareness, your integrity. They shape the world you inhabit. And that is the question each of us must face.